Right, we're recording again.
All right.
So, feeling passionate about the
Mhm.
cosmos, about
Mhm.
life, about the beauty and the miracle all around us. Just
Mhm.
before we begin, I'd just like to recite to you something I read about 10, 12 years ago now, in the early days of my awakening. I was reading a Buddhist book, and the Buddhist was explaining how he saw a rose. And the reason
Mhm.
why he was explaining how he saw the rose was to try and impart how people, when they become awakened, enlightened, will also see a rose and see the world. Now, if you give an automaton a rose, uh, if it's a woman, she'll doubtless go, "Oh, thank you, they're beautiful." She'll pretend to smell them. She wouldn't concentrate really on the essence of the smell. She'd go, "Oh, they're so lovely." She'll put them in a vase and probably never look at them again. Now, I may be being a bit dismissive here. Uh, there doubtless are people that do enjoy a bit more beauty, but most people receiving roses is kind of like, oh, this person thought about me, this person loves me, this person has made a present for me, and all of a sudden it gets all about them and not about the actual roses. When the roses are the important thing here. It's a life form. It's a beautiful thing. It's a paradoxical thing. It's a beautiful flower with thorns which can draw blood if mishandled.
Mhm.
So very paradoxical, the rose. Now, there's so much to take in relation to the essence of the rose, the aroma. Of course, we all have different sensibilities for that, and then to
Mhm.
look at it and pay close attention to the gentle folds and the Fibonacci sequence of the folding and unfolding of this
Mhm.
miracle. When a flower comes out, it is a freaking cosmic miracle, and
Mhm.
if you watch a flower on a daily basis or several times a day, there's a plant in my bathroom. When it starts to grow its plants, they're about this big, they're huge, that I can actually see it growing. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a little bit of a stretch,
Mhm.
but it will grow, say, like an inch in one day. They grow at
Mhm.
an enormous rate, and so you can. And when I'm walking out and about, and when the first onset of spring, you see a little
Mhm.
green coming from a bud, and then every time you walk past, you watch the same ones and you see it come out and you see it go through the whole season. It's a miracle. So this
Mhm.
he was speaking about this rose and how he saw it, and he said he sees the wind in the rose, he sees the rain, he sees the snow, the frost,
Mhm.
he sees the sunshine, he sees the cosmos, he sees the oceans, he sees the mountains, he sees the human being, he sees the heart, the soul, and the intellect. He sees everything. And why did he see these things in this rose? Because he saw the oneness. He saw that when he looked into that beautiful, incredible thing, he was in actual fact gazing at the universe. How
Mhm.
many billions of years did it take to create that miracle? What actually has gone on in this mass of blackness and stars and rocks and all that stuff to produce something so formidably beautiful to a certain eye? Many people that can't see that. When people become
Mhm.
awakened, when they become enlightened, not only will they see it, they will feel it in
Mhm.
such a visceral way in their body that they can literally just have tears streaming down their cheeks, knowing that they are a part of the miracle. So when you feel the world like that, then that's when you are in a whole different dimension. You are actually in the kingdom of God. And that's the kingdom of God that Jesus was speaking about and trying to instill in his entourage and his apostles. And they're praying to God, 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 on which they not God. And you say, it's true, the kingdom of God is within you, without you, yet you do not see.
You were cutting out there. You're still, yeah, your audio's not great there.
Right. What did you?
There
What was?
you go.
What
Okay,
was
now
you
it's good.
Okay.
Just the last bit, I think.
Yeah. So Jesus was imparting to his disciples when they're praying to God. He was laughing and mocking them, and they say, "Sire, why do you mock us so?" And he says, "Because you don't even know who you're praying to. You do not see that the kingdom of God isn't in the sky, because if it was, the birds would get there before you. If you cried out, 'Lo, the kingdom of God is in the ocean,' then truly I say to you, the fish will get there before you. The kingdom of God is within you and without you, and yet you do not see." Now, I know for a fact I have never met a Christian who understands this concept. They've never been able to convey to me anything remotely what this means. And so this is the litmus test for me. And I've spoke to many Christians and pastors, and I've tried to extract it out of them, and it's not there. What's there is the dogma. They can recite Luke, and they can recite Mark, and they can recite, Psalms and all the rest of it, but they don't know what these things mean, and they don't feel it. So what I'm saying to you, ladies, is that when I'm conveying my videos with a level of passion, it's because I'm feeling life and I'm feeling everything. And so now the question is, on what level do you individually feel your own existence? Take it away, Nikki.
Great. Um, that's deep.
Yeah.
I suppose it's similar to the story of, you know, the rose and looking at things deeper. I find even just gardening on my balcony that I do that as well. Every day I'm looking at the new growth and enjoying, you know, the flowers that are opening. And I find it's funny to me, you said like how quickly yours will grow. uh, I watch the beans, like green beans. They grow so fast. You could almost watch them grow if you just sat there all day.
Yeah.
And so that, yeah, I guess that just connects me to everything. Talking about the rose too. Every time I see a rose, I have to smell it.
Right. And so, when you observe these plants on your balcony, do you have any notion? I mean, for me, I've been trying to explain this to people for forever, and it's not something that I can touch people with unless they've been there. I say, it's kind of like when one of these famous philosophers and poets speaking about a grain of sand in the palm being the universe. Do you know the one I'm speaking about?
Yeah, I think so.
And so, if I knew the name, if I could remember the name, then I'd quickly Google it. But just to say, when we look at the smallest of things, it gives us the greatest expanse of feeling that we're looking at the cosmos. That it's a feeling that we get. It's an expansive conscious awareness of the tiniest thing. And when you look at a tiny little fly, and you try to envision how long it took for the cosmos to create that little life form, being so seemingly insignificant that you could just squat it if it annoys you. But it's a miracle before your very eyes. And if you are in a level of appreciation for these things, then the whole world just opens up like a blooming rose. And you cannot. I'm always saying the world, the cosmos, is perfect, absolutely perfect. Oh, what about human suffering? And what about it? What about it? It's so fleeting. And without some human suffering, then where would the appreciation be for when we're not suffering? It's all a miracle. It's all perfect. It's just myopic minds that cannot grasp it. You see, and so okay, you have a shot at this one, Mandy.
I before you, I was thinking of gardeners. I was thinking of the people when I walk through the markets, and the people the couple that gardens and their little dirty hands, and they love each other, and the growth of all their pretty plants that come out. I think of the gardeners. So that was funny that Nikki said gardening on her balcony, and just the life that is there for us to view and know that we're a perfect part of. I think that sets us free when we can see that and feel it.
So when I'm speaking, like I just have been doing for the last 10 minutes, what are you feeling from that? What do you intuit? Do you have a familiarity, a deep-rooted familiarity,
Yeah,
or
that's
or is
how
it
I've
something
lived.
you're kind of like on the outside of? You've not really fully experienced it. You know, because what I'm trying to work out is
Yeah,
because of my psychedelic experiences, 300
right.
excursions, they've opened up my consciousness to such an extent whereby I think I've entered into another dimension of consciousness, which is what actually has happened. And you see, when we're conveying things to people, it's kind of like they can they
Hey, stop.
they
Oops,
loosely
sorry.
grasp a concept of something and they think that they know. But it's not until they've experienced more
Stop
that they realize that they didn't know.
it.
So what I'm saying is that, if I describe psychedelic experiences, seeing God in the clouds and, all these different sorts of things, people go, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, seen it on YouTube. Yeah, I know exactly what you're on about. Excuse me, no, you don't. You have like one grain of sand's worth of knowledge compared to a whole beach until you've experienced it. And so that's the thing is that, I'm a Libra and I'm looking for unity, balance and unity.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm seeking out unity. I'm seeking out someone to convey to me that they are in my vibration. It's kind of like I've got one of these old radio sets and I'm tweaking this knob up and down. It's going, and I'm trying to find that frequency whereby someone can sit down in front of me and just the look will tell me that they know.
That's how I've lived. I think that's why I was out of the loop at so much of my life. It was just a different experience for me to have. I mean, I feel like that's why the just vibing different with people. I'm not sure what I've done here. Video there. I don't know. But yeah, that's a neat. It's nice to hear that that's happened for others. I just knew that I had a problem when I was young. I had this oneness. I loved everybody. Not that and I think I've said that before. I knew I loved everyone. And my friends, I remember one of my friends for sure, she'd say, you can't. You just can't love everybody. I said, I do. I'm sorry, but I do. And not that I'm with them or I want to be near them even, but there was some oneness about us there,
Right.
that dark and light and whoever they may be. I just knew that. And feeling people, I wish I'd learned to turn that off a long time ago. So yeah,
Feeling people, you wish you could
being
tell.
able, but it made people very uncomfortable to know that I could feel what they're
Right.
feeling or what they really intend. Yeah.
Yeah. You see, a little thing like that, me questioning that, because unless I questioned that, I didn't comprehend what you said. I couldn't grasp the context of it, so I needed to delve deeper, and I could keep delving deeper and deeper and deeper, and get you to explain viscerally what you feel and where you think that comes from. And, ultimately, does it reside in pain and sadness?
I don't, it could, I don't know. I would have to, let me think about that so quickly. I feel like there is ultimately for me, the love, the thing, the idea of love is what we're here to do. And is what we're here to learn, to be, and experience. And it's first loving ourselves, I think, and that kindness may come upon, it needs to be, that's I'm the first duck in a row, or I'm right. Is that the first? I'm the first. So getting me lined up, and then everything else falls into place. Magic, the synchronicities, the butterfly or the hummingbirds, or all the beauty. I've always, that was my first thing I wanted to do, is see the beauty, see the nature. I'm so thankful I live across the street and there's huge trees, and that all, there's no people basically over there.
Yeah.
But I
So,
love, yeah.
sorry, I was going to say, Nikki, you're living in a high rise. I take it you're quite a way away from rural regions. How far do
Yeah.
you have to travel to get away from the maddening crowd?
Not too far, because I'm kind of on the outskirts, or closer to the outskirts. So I'm maybe 10 or 15-minute drive and you're out
Right. And
of
then how
state.
often do you do that?
Not often enough.
Yeah.
Because I don't drive, right? It's harder to take transit or anything like that, or,
Yeah.
find people that have the time to go out into nature with me and get out there.
Well, that's the last thing you want, to be fair.
Mm. Well, it
The last
depends,
thing
I
you want,
guess, on the person, but
yeah, the last thing you want is distraction. And so, what I suggest is that if you've got any parks in the vicinity, then go to them and spend times around flower beds and bushes and trees and looking at bark and buds and listening to the birds and all
yeah.
those sorts of things, because uh, having this level of communion is actually a communion with cosmic God consciousness. And unless you get away from the mechanical poison of the cities, you're not in communion with cosmic consciousness. Your
No.
mind has been defiled all the time.
And that's why I started gardening, just to bring nature
Mhm.
into
Yeah,
my concrete world.
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
Because I don't get out as much as I should. So I figured, well, I'll bring some of it to me.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think the earthing for me, in being barefoot so much of the time, and um, other than my feet, I like clean feet. They have to be clean before bed at least.
Yeah,
But so I think that earthing, it does me just wonders to get me down, and especially with all the solar flares and the sun activity that we've had. And there was a beautiful flare, and it made the figure eight perfectly. And Stephen Burns, he's a geophysicist, and I enjoy watching that. Not that I want to hear about all the earthquakes around the planet at times. I feel like that could give me anxiety, but I do enjoy knowing Mother Earth is always shifting, I believe, right?
yeah,
Oh yeah, you're in California, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
you need to worry about the earthquakes more than some of us
I
do. Yeah.
know. Right. It feels, there was one this summer, and it felt, because there's that aquifer underneath us, and I was out teaching a little yoga class, and then we could start to feel this happening, and it felt like we were actually just riding water. We were riding some wave here.
yes.
Yeah.
I've only ever felt one tremor in my life, and it was a very,
Mm.
very bizarre thing where the whole house turned into jelly.
Ooh, yeah.
And it was just all liquefied and quivering.
Yeah.
It was like tripping, man.
Yeah.
It was a serious trip, and this is before I even ever did any
Mhm.
trips. Uh, but yeah, a very, very surreal experience. Have
Mhm.
you ladies ever had what's called a samadhi experience?
I don't
Samadhi is,
It's the Buddhist term for experiencing the oneness.
probably blips and moments of just vast nothingness. I feel like that's, for me, that's what I've
Right.
had.
Let me explain. On one of the most profound occasions, I had this. I was out cycling in the summer, and so I've been doing, a lot of exercise and got the oxygen. And I've been telling people for years that for those people who are very, very cardiovascularly fit, you are closer to God. There's no doubt about it. Your whole body and mind responds to the hyper living level. You are vitalized to the maximum. And when you are like that, then you're on the precipice of samadhi and spiritual experiences and those sort of things. Now, I just got off the bike as I come back to the village because I'd seen a tree in full bloom, because it's summertime, that I didn't recognize the leaves of. And so, I know all the trees in my vicinity because that's what I do, and when I see one I don't know, then I stop and I look and I'll take a sample. And as I got off the bike and I stood the bike up on the curb, I looked up at the clouds, and there's big fluffy clouds in the sky. And all of a sudden, my ego completely dissipated. And I was looking at the world like in slow motion. And I could see the clouds moving very, very slightly across the sky, and the whole world was like a dream. And there was a feeling that, are you paying attention? This is all for you. This miracle is all yours. And I was absolutely blown away. Now, you can get a very, very similar thing. Maybe it's kind of like almost exactly the same when you take DMT. DMT will completely dissolve your ego. So you look at the world through different conscious eyes. But the only thing on DMT, it will overlay a simulacrum. It will overlay a new world onto the existing world. So everything will be there. Like a tree and a house, but the house will be like it's built out of pristine Lego. It's absolutely perfect. All natural things, they will be living and moving and breathing and conscious. And when you look closer, they'll have creatures in them, faces in them, living beings in them, and everything is just filled with life. And it's incredible. And it's not scary, it's not malevolent at all, it's just incredible. But the feeling is just bliss, absolute perfection and oneness. And so when you've had experiences like that, it colours your world. You've seen it, you've been there, and you know what the world can look like in certain conditions of consciousness and health and things like that. And so obviously these things like DMT is very, very a powerful lure. It's not addictive, but I've done about 200 excursions with it, and it's absolutely incredible and life-changing, seriously life-changing. I've seen like a bearded, robed, elderly gentleman reclining in a cloud, looking out over the world as if he was God sitting on his throne, satisfied with his creation. And this figure in the cloud, it was there for 15 minutes. And I was looking around at the rest of the world and how bizarre it all was, and kept looking back into the sky and seeing this figure. And so when you have experiences like that, then when you read the biblical accounts, it all fits into place, because they were all tripping. Whether they were natural trips or whether they were on, all different sorts of other things they had at the time, that's what was going on. And so what I'm saying is, in my videos, when I talk about these things, from one experience of seeing those things in the clouds, your consciousness is opened up to the whole magnitude of 2,000 years worth of religiosity, of people worshipping the man in the sky, which they've never seen. They haven't got a clue who or what he is. But when you've seen a figure which he never cried out, "I'm God." He never said anything. These things don't look at you. They are asocial. They are detached. They're not recognizing you. They're not there for you. You enter into their world and you observe them, and that's an incredible thing, because if they were looking at you, then it would be quite terrifying, because you'd see these entities all over the place looking at you. They notice you. You're there. You're there in their world, but they don't notice you. You go into their world and they're not looking at you. They're not paying any interest to you. So you can walk around anonymous and feeling completely comfortable, because you're not being observed. It's like you're just tiptoeing through.
Do you think that's also, we're going to carry our perspective with us and what we expect? You're projecting that out, and so obviously you have a good projection. You're not things are kind, and look, you don't even, you're just walking through that beauty.
Yeah.
I think breath does that. I've always often breath for me. I breathe. People will tease about when I would teach yoga. They're like, "Wow, it sounds like you're having a really good time, breathing." And I would be, really.
Well, breath
just a feel.
is the fuel of life, and breath is what takes
Mm.
you into what are the hatha yoga.
Mm.
The one that is that
Yes,
hatha?
hatha yoga.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the one where you slow breathing and you concentrating on your
Mhm.
exercises. Lots of people can have a spiritual experience or an out of body experience.
Yeah.
And when I've been doing yoga out in the natural environment, I've never had it indoors, out in the natural environment. There is like a DMT buzz that comes over me, and it's invariably when you come up from being down and the blood rush. And what happens is that your consciousness goes offline. You're all dizzy, and your body's highly intent on staying stable, and you feel like you're going like that, and your mind's buzzing, and you're staring, and you don't know what you're looking at in the world. The world is alien to you until your consciousness comes back online, and it tells you, "Are you on the world? You've just been doing yoga." Have you had any of those experiences?
Sure. Yes. Yeah. They're like a little glitch.
Yeah.
Those are the things. Yeah, the little glitches, and I remember even as a child holding my breath to, they say that if we hold our breath and then we're pausing every that, and then you stop, you open up to a new reality, right? So as a kid, even I don't know, I had a thing for doing that. I remember.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so there's another trick that you can do if you're brave enough. And a friend of mine taught it to me when I was down in the Algarve. Do you girls remember my videos from down in the Algarve? Have you watched any of them?
Mm-mm. Where?
In the Algarve in southern Portugal,
No.
when I'm on the beach.
Oh, no.
Have you posted any of those in the last
Yeah,
year?
there's 1,800 videos on my channel, and I posted many of them. But true to form, I can post these incredible, beautiful videos, and they'll get 30 hits, and then they'll never get another hit. If you scroll through um, my channel, I mean, if you go on to on YouTube, you should be able to scroll down and down and down and down and down. 1,800 videos. Maybe after a couple of minutes, you'll get down, you'll start to see me all tanned with a beard and shorter hair
Yes.
on a beautiful coastline. And I spent 3 years on this beach, walking up and down, philosophizing and observing the beautiful nature, doing DMT and all that. Absolutely beautiful videos. You see, there's another thing that, I just find it incredible. People will only watch my video when I post it on the day. They won't ever have the gumption to go, that was an interesting video. Let me see how many videos he's got. Oh, he has 1,800 videos. That's a lot of videos. Well, seeing as I like his videos so much, why do I have to wait for him to post a new one? Let's go back and see how the Awakened Brave was 10 years ago. There's videos of me 10 years ago, completely clean shaven and short hair and youthful and all that sort of stuff. They're all there. Nobody watches them. You know,
I have. I mean, I remember you getting a haircut and you nice. It was short hair and yeah. So
did these videos come up in the feed, or did you?
I think that's when I first came upon you. It's something you were somewhere. I didn't see the beach. I'm not seeing the beach necessarily, but you were somewhere enjoying yourself and you were contemplating much at that time still. And
there's videos of me in the Gambia with crocodiles and hyenas, sitting down with a hyena, stroking a hyena with its massive jaw. I'm in Tenerife, Portugal, Bulgaria, lots of places that I've travelled. And I've made all these videos, and you know, they're all on the channel, and they're all, you know, very adventurous and exciting, and different perspectives on cultures and all those different sorts of things. But you know, today in this modern era, there's so much information there. We are subject to the red bell syndrome, and there's so much information. As soon as I turn on the computer, red bells, red bells, red bells, red bells, red bells. Constantly, I'm getting notifications of all the people I'm subscribed to, and you know, you can very easily get lost in, you know, the mire of that, and you can get drawn into something where you're not creating your own reality. You know what I said to people many times, I said, look, before you turn your computer on, decide what you want to watch. Me, I've got a few subscribers I watch regularly. One's Candace Owens, another one's Russell Brand, and then there are a few others, but every day I watch Candace Owens and Russell Brand. Why? Because Russell Brand gives me all the latest stuff, which I need to have awareness of what's going on in the world, because he's topical, but it isn't the bullshit of the news. It's his comedic, intelligent insight to it, you know. And Candace Owens is another one of these people. She's an American woman, got a fantastic channel, and she does investigation into all different sorts of stuff. And they're just fantastic channels. Other than that, I look into my feed then and I ask myself, do I want to get carried away? Do I want to be controlled and led by clickbait, or do I want to make decisions as to what I want to watch? You know, but the vast majority of people don't do that. And now, when I put a video up, it'll get a certain amount of hits in 12 hours, then it will lay dead and dormant on the channel forever.
Yeah, then it gets buried in everyone's feed.
Sorry?
It gets buried in everybody's feed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gone, and people don't go back, you see. So the algorithm doesn't bring it up again. The algorithms are tuned into new. And if it's old, it's history. It's yesterday's paper.
Isn't that how they're harvesting our energies, by the little red buttons and lights? Yeah, and to watch things that I watch Candace. I told my grandson I have to stop watching her because I've known these things but I'm knowing specifics with her now, and I'm so proud of her, and I love her dearly for what she's bringing to light. And I feel her concern for what, you know, she's opening that. You know, I said, let's don't even talk about the kids in cages that are underground, or, you know, I mean, there's a book coming out, Kids in Cages. I thought of you. There was a woman who did an interview that was one of them. And on her release, they actually let her go. She was a grown, I don't know her age and when she got to be let go, but they, you know, she had been mind altered, and somehow the spark, they get, you know, she became, there's things that I can't even, it's hard to fathom.
Yeah. It's terrifying when you start to contemplate what things they're doing to humans.
And then when upon her leaving this tragic place where she talked about the queen turning into these baby, baby raping lizard wizards. I don't know. It was just terrible. But that the queen herself, and I believe the queen needed to have forgiveness upon herself and asked for forgiveness maybe after she passed. But I feel like there's things that there's out of our my realm, but I don't doubt it. I feel like there's a truth. And the young woman said upon leaving that she turned to hug this person who had abused and almost killed her, and that they would make bets on the children's lives, how they would live or die, and all these terrible things. But this is all she'd known, and she hugged him and then left. And it was like, I get it. I get it. That's what she knew. And
well, she's
So
probably
Stockholm syndrome.
still
pardon?
survived. She's probably hugging him for thanking, for the survival.
Or Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, Stockholm.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Truly. So the book is called Children in Cages, and there's a young trans person. What is his name? He's really pretty. I like him. On occasion he has some footage that he gets deleted right away. Yes. What's his name? I can't think of it right now, but I will. And it was tragic and touching, but it seems like, Candace has another level of things going on that she's exposing out here. And then there's a deeper and then more cosmic things that are also on the table. But people are one thing at a time. People are, waking up here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm often saying, particularly in the comments, when I have a conversation with AI, and then people are like, "Oh yeah, this, that, and the other," and they're completely putting something down which is alien to what the conversation was about. And I'm like, I'm over the fact now that we all live in our own worlds, and we all perceive things very, very differently. And every single person that listens to any of my videos, they're going to get something similar or something completely wild from it. Their inner dialogue they're going to be running wild. Their biases, they're going to be triggered by one word, which is emotive to them, and it's going to bring up this, and I think that, and you're not this, and all those different sorts of things. And then there's the pseudo intellectual, which wants to joust with me, and everything I say is wrong, and then you get lists written out. You said this and that's wrong, and I say this, and so I'm better than you. And goodness me, you look at it all, and I'm like, shall I just take the comments down? What's the value of them? What do I get? Really, what do I get? I mean, it's kind of like, what do I get from doing this? Other than having conversations like this, what do I get? I mean, I get a release, I suppose, that I get catharsis from it.
Evolution, and it's a part of your evolution that you're here doing this, and then you're helping us. Look, we're here to evolve ourselves. I mean, for me to speak up and show up and express, what people. There's nobody in my little town. I have new neighbors, and they play their music so loud. Fortunately I like that kind of music, but they're so they don't even consider others. They're not even, people are not considerate of others. So but I mean, I feel like you're here to, and then keeping up with your wanting to grow and interact with people. Like you're like a Russell Brand, truly. But I mean, and then you take it, you're going there.
Yeah.
And Russell's great. I mean, I've fluctuate, but Candace, I honestly have watched her for so many years, and then I just know that we are here to help others. I feel like it's so imperative to be that voice of peace. I mean, and really see that, and then teach people about our fascia and releasing things in our bodies. Like for me, I gotta get back to it. I've taken a year off of being a teacher and taking care of myself. I wanted to meditate, and that's all I wanted to do was be quiet and Oh, there I go. But I can't live there. I can't live there.
No, that's the thing with the spiritual realm, and that's why the saying is, what do you do before and after enlightenment? You chop
Right.
wood and carry water.
Yeah.
And this was one of the silly comments I got today. It's kind of like, you think you're enlightened, and yet you're saying this, and you're doing that, and you're making videos, and you're engaging in the comments. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And he says, I genuinely want to know. And I went, well, if I told you, because I need to tell you, you won't comprehend why I'm doing it. But I just said, chop wood and carry water.
Okay.
I'm doing all these things which pertain to the ego. What else can I do? Sit in a cave because I've become enlightened and I think I know what it's about? No, because I know it's about now. I'm out in basking in it. I'm enjoying it. I'm reveling in it.
See, I think that's what differentiates you from the other creators, is that you do engage with your audience. Most of them, when they get too big, they don't have the time to go through the comments. They don't talk to anybody that's watching their videos.
And all they do is interview. They get someone on that's wrote a book, and they go, nice to have you on. You've wrote a great book. So tell us, how did this book come about, and this, that, and the other. And that's all it is. Nobody will have these sorts of conversations. Nobody's going to ask, what do you think? What do you think?
And feel if people can feel more into their stuff. I watched my beautiful grandson. He's a grown man and he's got the 2 children. He's a single dad, and that's who we all live together. And I watch him connect with those kids and their feelings. And like you said, they probably just want your time. They probably just want your attention. Your gift is your presence.
Yeah.
So that's what he's really learning. And it hasn't been easy for him, I'm sure, with me, because I've had to reel myself in because my foot would be in his, up somewhere. But I would be like, these basically the children are so lovable and they're so bright. And they do have a focus and attention. I would say they've got that repetitive, like you can see it coming, and you can see the difference if you feed them well.
Yeah.
If you feed them crap. That's what, I'm trying not to say that, but we do talk about GMOs. And the mother was so mad that I taught the children about GMOs and bad food or McDonald's. I said, that food doesn't rot. We want to eat food that goes bad, like our blackberry bush, or we watch the peach trees and the gift that the kids have with our lemons and, all the aloe vera. I mean, all of it is so important, but the feeling part is really nice to see, because it's hard for the dad to go, okay, why are you sad? Little person.
You shouldn't need to be asking why your kids are sad. You should intuitively know. And if you knew them well enough, then you'd know why they're sad most of the time.
Right.
Now, I'm not getting the notice that this video is running out of time. And so it may be out of time. It says 43 minutes, which is overtime on my timer. So I'm just saying this just in case it does go down. And if it does go down, I thank you both very much for the conversation. And it's been great. And we'll do it again. Now, there's another woman. There's 2 women out there I want to entice in, to these sorts of conversations. Whether they will rise to the occasion or not, is yet to be seen. But initially, not all together, because it'd be quite overwhelming. But maybe 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. But to start to get more perspectives, to start to get a feeling. Because what I've always said in relation to my audience, if I don't know who you are, I'm going to cut you no slack. I'm going to give you no mercy. I'm going to be like Lawrence of Arabia, screaming with his sword out of his scabbard, no prisoners, no prisoners. But if I know who a good portion of you are, that you're actual human beings and you're sentient and you're at least awakened, then the whole Awakened Brave channel will change. But the vast majority of my rants and supercilious and everything is just because the channel's dead and people are unresponsive. And I'm just wondering how many people. Oh yeah, okay. So we've got 15 minutes now.
Mhm.
How many people will actually enjoy these sort of casual meandering conversations with human beings which can articulate themselves over and above the herd. It's
Mhm.
something that we all need to be embracing more and doing more, and challenging ourselves with. At the end of the day, I remember about 20 years ago, I thought I'd go and do something interesting of an evening time, and I joined a public speaking class. And when I got to this, this, it was like in a you know village hall thing, and there were about 10 elderly people, and they're all pensioners, and they all welcomed me in, new blood. And so on the first night, it was going around, and the person organising it would write one word down on a piece of paper and give the word to different word to all of us, and then we'd look at that word and we'd have to speak for 5 minutes on that subject. And mine was on war. And so I got up and I assumed the spirit of Adolf Hitler, and I just started to rant in gibberish German uh, with my mannerisms of Adolf Hitler. The three stars and Schwein, Oben Gotens Weiter. And I was singing that, and they just looked at me.
Oh no,
They
Lord.
were absolutely confounded. And then at the end of it, I just said, Dankeschön. And I went and sat there.
But that's where words have really, it's the energy behind it all. You gave it to them, really.
That was just they didn't know what hit them. I never went back again though, because I didn't see
Yeah.
as much.
Oh.
But honestly, I sort of reverted back to Adolf in the beer kellers. Because I've listened to lots of his rants and everything, and
Yeah.
I've listened to them in English. And when you listen to them in English, they are surprisingly intelligent and articulate. And German is a harsh language to our ears, but what he's saying is just normal speech. We have to do this, and we've got to bring Germany off its knees, and we've got to progress. We've got to be respected in the world, and this, that, and the other. We have to do this coming together. We've got to do it through industry. He was a politician. It was all politics. It wasn't, we're going to kill the Jews. And no, that's all propaganda nonsense. He was very, very serious, very articulate, and a brilliant mind. And so I've got a lot of respect, for him. But somewhere down the line, the whole thing went wrong, like all things do. So 12 minutes left. How do you ladies want to end it? Do you want to speak about yourselves a little bit? Do you want to ask any questions? Let's say you got 5 minutes each.
Well, I was just going to ask you when you were talking about speaking with people on your channel. Would your daughter ever come on your channel with you?
No.
No?
She thinks my channel's full of weirdos.
Nice.
I love it.
I says,
But that's
you're not too far from the mark.
right. Well, and then that's the thing with you getting us. I mean, I didn't ever interact with people online because it felt like a far cry from like, really, I'm going to chat with these people. I'm going to interact with real people. It didn't feel very real until this has been happening, or I would put my words, not that I would structure my sentences properly if I'm just speaking into the phone or whatever, my iPad. But I just know that it's important for me, that I would like to speak with those kind words and really move our bodies and move things out of our bodies, old structure, old stuck energies. I mean, getting people to drink their water and maybe have gratitude for the water that we drink. Water is magic. We're magic.
Yes, well, like Jesus said, it's not that which comes out of our bodies which defiles us, it's that which goes in. And so we have to be very careful
Mhm.
about what comes into our bodies, because it's a temple. And I'm going through these different levels of dieting and stuff like that, just to
Mhm.
see how my body feels, because it's all about the feeling. And I don't believe nothing. We're all individual, we all work differently, and things affect us differently, and this and the other. And so if we don't do experiments with our health, then we will never know. We push ourselves
Mhm.
to the limit, we see how we perform, we bring ourselves back, and we only push ourselves 90%, and we see how we feel, and we find a happy medium. And we have to change this the more we age, and all the rest of it. And
Mhm.
measure our amounts of sleep, and the consumption of whatever it is. And so all these things are very powerful, and having free time and just sitting down to read, taking that time, it's really, really powerful. And people, they're not doing this, and so it's showing in society. And so meditation, of course, really, really powerful. And if you don't, feel that you can meditate, then do something else, like jigsaw puzzles, or
Mhm.
books, or gardening, flowering arrangements. Just get an easel with some watercolors, and just start splashing around and seeing what comes out of your psyche, because it'd be an investigation into your own psyche, and you could see how your moods vary from
Mhm.
day to day, month to month.
And the animals bringing us present, right? Our little kitty cats and dog, and
Yeah.
bringing us present in the present moment, and that is a gift, such a gift. Um, and to really celebrate our life, allow ourselves to celebrate. I feel like that's astrology wise, that's what I've really gleaned from everything, the feminine, the going into this age of Aquarius, and creating a life that we choose. We are allowing the goodness, and to help the other people, like put a hand back for the others as
So
well.
is the cat playing with the phone
Yes,
all the time?
yes.
Look at her. Is a naughty. Is it a boy?
It's a boy, yes.
Is it a
He's
naughty boy?
oh, he is naughty, yes.
So cute though.
Oh, I love
Really
him. Just so
pretty.
cute. Yeah,
We
but to be present. And so we have 8 minutes left to countdown. And so I want to try and
yeah.
cram a few things in. Um, if we take the reins of our lives and we stop following red bells, uh,
Mhm.
and when I say that, I use it as a metaphor for news stations, and memes, and hype, and hearsay, and all the rest of it. If we decide what we want out of life, then we go and take it. And what you've done yourself, you decide each day when you get out of bed that you want kindness, and you want openness, and you want acceptance. If you don't think
Mhm.
about these things, if you just get out of bed like an automaton, then you are going to be what the whole world dictates to you what you should
Mhm.
be. You're going to
Mhm.
feel what the world dictates to you. And then when the first thing you do is tune into your emails, and someone pisses you off, or someone's demanding something, and oh, goodness me, all of a sudden, you're wrapped around society's little finger, aren't you? And people
Mhm.
live their lives like this. In actual fact, they don't live their lives, they exist like this.
Mhm.
But if we wake up every single morning, and we have an awareness of our autonomy, and then
Mhm.
say, I'm not diving onto the computer straight away. What I do every morning, for the first hour, I sit down with a cup of tea, and I read one of my philosophy books.
Mhm.
Whilst I'm, fresh of mind, and able to absorb everything, and contemplate everything. It's a beautiful meditation. Then I go out into the garden and spend half an hour with my little baby and friends, and that's a beautiful meditation. And I make sure that I'm out every day, dawn, not long after dawn, and I'm observing
Mhm.
sun rise up and the birds come awake and the raindrops dripping or the beads of rain on the buds. I'm present in it. And then I come back in and then, I'll look at one or two emails. Most times I don't even get any, and then I'll look for comments and okay, there might be 3 comments, there might be 5. On a good day, there might be 10. I assess the value of any of these comments and question whether I'm wasting my time as usual. But then think, well, some people have said to me in the past, they don't know what to get from my videos, but they've been watching me for a long time, so they must get something. So I go, well, okay, that's good enough for them. So that must be all I need if it's good enough for them. It doesn't need to be good enough for me. What's good enough for me is making my videos and just banging them up there. And so, I have to concentrate on letting go a lot of the time. But then, depending on my energy levels and something that I've watched, I'll go, yeah, Russell Brand just said it. Russell Brand just said a bunch of wankers when he went to do this speech with all these fucking university top knobs, the most educated in the country, all with pharmaceutical companies and politicians and that. And he said they're a bunch of ignorant wankers. And then they never laughed at anything like they should have if they just let go. And so he says it, so many people are making reference to people just not being people these days. And I'm like, fuck it, yeah, they're going to have it today.
No,
Kevin.
I feel has your channel been growing in again, getting a little momentum?
No.
Okay.
No, it look, it's what 2,250 subscribers. It fluctuates between gaining 2 and losing 3, gaining 4 and losing 1. It's kind of like this all the time. It's ridiculous, and unless humanity is what I proclaim it to be, a waste of fucking space. Unless that's the case, then the alternative is that Google have got the breakers on me because they don't want me awakening people and informing them to this level and content. And I'm like, whoa. People say, oh, that's a big conspiracy. I think you're putting too much emphasis on your words. They're not that great. And I'm like, well, it must be the first one then. You're all a bunch of stupid, ignorant cunts. To be quite frank, I can't be fair and nice about it. I make great videos. I put a lot of time and effort. I go out of my way, and what do I get? Shit. I get shit from 98% of my viewers, and they deserve all the scorn they get. And I'm like, well, when you get sick of it, you'll fuck off. Or you'll change your ways, because you might get the impression that the Awake and Brave ain't changing his.
But you are. I feel like you are changing it up a bit. You are asking these women to come on, and that's the thing that's also going to possibly, I feel like, balance you out as a masculine. That us women have such a different experience that might not be overall known how we've had to do things. But I feel like you're going to grow your channel, and you're going to, maybe with astrology, let go of your old story, as it were, and let's create some new powerful words, because Russell Brand is needed, and thank goodness for Candace Owens. I really, people are just making fun of her that she has a hit out on her. Really? I mean, come on. We just, witnessed Charlie Kirk, which I hope it's a big show, get murdered. I mean, he was assassinated, and people are.
And Candice is absolutely right in my estimation. Now we've got less minutes, so we're going to go down any time. And so look, I've appealed to my viewers to come and chat for all these years, and I used to have many more when the subject matter was much more simple, and I was engaging people in something that they could be engaged with. Now the level I'm speaking at, very few people want to engage at. But these conversations like this, we're engaging in something quite a bit more mundane and regular. And so we're almost ready to go now.
Yeah, this
And
call
so,
is about to end.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Nice meeting you, Nikki.
yeah,
Thank
You as
you.
well.
Thank you.
it's been very nice. And so see you girls soon, yeah?
Yes,
Yep.
for sure. Thank you.
Ciao. Oh, that was perfect. Perfect timing. Okay, this meeting has ended. Great. And how long was it? I think that was an hour. The one before was 2 hours anyway. Okay.